hi. Okay. So I am here today representing an organization called the New Richmond School Education Foundation. We are a pretty new group for the school district, and we are conducting programs for the school district, educationally oriented programs. And I'm here to talk to you about the Bicentennial. So you guys have been studying that in school, right, this year? And you went on a field trip today, and Mr. Roberts took you around New Richmond, and you got to see some of the historical landmarks for New Richmond, right? Can anybody tell me what's special about this year, 2014, in New Richmond? Mm-hmm.
It's the 200th anniversary.
Very good, that's right. It's the 200th anniversary. What's that called? What's the word for that? Very good, that's exactly what it is. So the Bicentennial celebrates the founding of our village called New Richmond. And what we're going to do on Saturday, September 20th, that's when the next school year starts, right? We are going to do an all-day-long festival down by the river, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. It's going to be all-day activities for your kids. Yes?
Oh, I know you're going to do pumpkin show.
Oh, okay. So I want to introduce first off a very special guest. This is Miss Hale. Hi. You may have recognized her. She was at Grant's birthplace this morning. So Miss Hale's going to walk around so you all can see her gown, her dress. Do you think this is a dress you would buy in the store today? No, it's not. It's from the 1800s, the 19th century. So what our festival is all about is about what people did back in the time that New Richmond was founded as a village. And so Vicki, Miss Hale, is dressed as women of her era would have been going to a special event. Do you want to talk for a moment?
Sure.
Okay.
The ladies went outside not in shorts or blue jeans or pedal pushers. All the ladies had a dress. You never saw their legs. When they got dressed up at night, they had great big hats on and got to go to nice ballrooms and dance, the more elite. But most of the women had plainer clothes. And those clothes had great big apron to it with a nice round short hat. And that's the way they cleaned. They cleaned in all this material. You can't imagine. And back then, did not have air conditioning and all this material around them. I know that of course, they were thinner then. We now have fast food, and we've kind of blown up somewhat. So if I lived 200 years ago, I would be a lot thinner. And probably the heat wouldn't bother me. No air conditioning. Have you ever had a night where your air conditioning didn't work? Did you sleep good? No. I can't sleep when the air conditioning's not in. It's hard because you're not used to it. But the girls, even the girls, wore long dresses. And the fellas, the boys, when you went to church, you would wear hats, and it was just a different culture, a different time. How many girls liked playing dress-ups when you grew up? Let me see the hands. I did. I loved it. We'd get in mom's old clothes or something and play dress-ups and have tea parties. I just love tea parties. But the culture has changed so much that if someone 200 years ago came back now and looked at what you were wearing, they just wouldn't understand that because cultures have changed, times have changed. But 200 years ago, all the moms, all the sisters, all you girls would be in nice dresses. And when you're in a long material, you can't move very fast. So everybody was more poised and strolled along.
So that's a good segue, what Ms. Hale just said about strolling along. Because for our event on Saturday, September 20th and 21st, we're going to have a lot of people dressed up like Ms. Hale, men and women. So the guys will wear, they call them tailcoats, the guys will be wearing that, or maybe a Civil War uniform. The idea will be to recreate our village of New Richmond so that it looks more like it did 200 years ago. So, so we call them period strollers. So we're going to have strollers like Ms. Hale. And I'd like for you all, you're going to get a paper to take home for your parents to look at. I'd like you to make sure you show it to them, because if you want to get dressed up in a costume, we can help you do that. We can help work on that. So if you think that's cool and you want to be part of that, or your mom and dad want to be part of it, we'd like to help you. So there's a phone number and an email address on the note you're going to get. So just make sure your parents get back in touch with us if they're interested in doing it. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to come and play the games and have fun, that's good too. So now I'd like to tell you a little bit about some of the games and activities. So today you all are the very first group to get a special sneak preview of what's going to happen on Saturday, September 20th. We're going to do some actual demonstrations with you all. You're going to get to do hands-on games in 4 different stations. So some of you have already noticed the biggest event that the foundation is putting on Saturday the 20th is a pumpkin chuck. We are going to have full-size, this is a mini trebuchet. It's called a tabletop trebuchet. Catapult is a word you may have heard of. Catapult trebuchet, kind of like a slingshot, somebody said. So we're going to have a contest with full-size trebuchets that are like, I don't know, 8 feet tall. And they're going to chuck full-size pumpkins into the Ohio River. So it's going to be pretty cool. We're calling that Huck Finn's Pumpkin Kerplunkin. And I can't say that too fast, too many times. The theme of our event is 19th century, and it's called Tom Sawyerville. Does anybody know who Tom Sawyer is or was?
I think he was like a kid, and he like lived near the Ohio River, and he like didn't have any parents.
Well, yeah, okay, all right, that's good. Good. He is a fiction character, a character that didn't really exist, but he was created by an author named Mark Twain, or Samuel Clemens, but Mark Twain is what he went by as a writer. So Mark Twain wrote about this boy named Tom Sawyer and his buddy Huck Finn. And they lived in a river town, much like New Richmond, much like the Ohio River. It actually,
Mississippi, right?
yeah, it actually wasn't on the, it was in Hannibal, Missouri. It actually wasn't on the Ohio River, but it's very similar. So that's the reason for all the names that we've picked, all the themes. So here you're going to take this home in a small version. It's a flyer that tells a little bit more about the pumpkin chuck and how you can participate. And really, I think I've about covered it. We're going to give you a handout to take home so you can have that to hand to your parents. But right now, let's let you have some fun and do some of the games. Remember, this was a period, as Ms. Hale was saying, when there was no air conditioning. There wasn't even an electric light bulb back then. There was certainly no internet or computers. So can you imagine what the kids did for fun?
Yep.
Right? Can you imagine what kind of stuff they did? So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to do with you. We're going to do a tug-of-war game, one station, boys and girls. One station is going to be a tug-of-war game. And another station is going to be an egg race where you put an egg on a spoon.
If you drop it,
If you drop it, it's probably going to break, but you don't win. And then the third game is going to be a sack race, because they used to use burlap bags that they put potatoes in, and so we're going to do that. And then we're also going to have demonstrations with the small trebuchet to give you an idea of what it'll be like with a big trebuchet, a full-size one. So our adult volunteers and teachers are going to help conduct the stations. Ms. Mills is going to keep you organized. We're going to blow a whistle when it's time to move from one station to the next. And she's going to help in a moment divide you into groups. But this is Mr. Torrance. Mr. Torrance's kids are in middle school and high school at New Richmond, and he is going to help do all the activities with you, and I think you know the other parents. So I will let Ms. Mills figure out how you all are going to be divided up.
Okay, just